Well, hey everybody, Dave here, sitting out in my backyard here in Texas. It's really hot. So I live in South Texas. I only live about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes away from Uvalde. And I work with a lot of people who know people that lost people in Uvalde. And I have this one friend who is related to a family that lost a child. So I've been getting a lot of insights on this. And one of the things that I think is really crazy is now that this video came out, what I think is really insane is how the world is reacting to it. People are saying, can you believe that guy got hand sanitizer, or that he was looking at his phone with the Punisher symbol on it? How can these cops do nothing while kids are screaming and being killed? Well, to me, this video is not shocking, because my entire life I've understood that cops are cowards. You know, now the world is getting ready, is seeing it firsthand that cops are cowards. Cops only care about cops. The thing is, this proves that cops, all of them, there's not a good one among any of them, are cowards. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, why do you think so many unarmed people are killed? They even kill dogs when they're walking up to a house. Because cops are cowards. In my entire life, I went to school with 3 people who became cops. All 3 of these people were pussy bitches that got picked on and made fun of in school. They were nerds. They didn't get girlfriends. Some of them tried to play on the football team or tried to play on the track team, but they sucked and would get picked on even in practice and stuff like that. They were weak. So when they grew up, they became cops because putting on that badge and carrying a gun made them feel powerful. I have an uncle who was a cop, and he was the biggest creep, loser on the planet. It came out years later after he passed away that my cousin, his own daughter, he had been molesting for years while he was a cop and while he was a deacon at the church. You know, I think in America we get brainwashed, and the propaganda, you know, if you look at really cool movies, you know, Die Hard, Bruce Willis's character is a cop. Lethal Weapon, Mel Gibson, you know, he's a cop. Bad Boys, you know, Will Smith, they're cops. You know, we got this thing in America where the heroes are cops, but those are just movies. Bruce Willis is an actor. Mel Gibson is an actor. That's not real cops. Real cops are cowards. Real cops piss their pants as soon as they walk up to a car they've just pulled over. And people say all the time, well, cops, you know, they do a hard job. Okay, yes, being a cop is dangerous, but nobody puts a gun to your head. If you want to be a cop, you become a cop. If you don't want to be a cop, you become something different. The problem is, in the United States, we don't require our police officers to have college degrees. In almost every European country, they require their cops to at least have an associate's degree. In America, all we care about is, hey, did you go to Iraq or Afghanistan? Do you have PTSD? Do you think every civilian you look at is an insurgent? Great, you can be a cop. Here's a badge and a gun. Now go out there and police and try not to kill everybody. You know, it's hilarious. And the one thing that I think is funny is, somebody who's read comics and loved comic books my whole life, that one cop that has the Punisher on his phone. These cops don't understand anything about the Punisher. The Punisher hates cops. There are comic books where the Punisher kills cops. The man who created the Punisher said that he is angry that the alt-right, the military, and the police have hijacked his symbol, because he says they don't know anything about what the Punisher symbol actually stands for. So all you cops walking around with a Punisher symbol, if the Punisher was a real character, he would kill you because you're scumbag pussies. So I am not surprised that this video shows all of these cops doing nothing, because cops are cowards. Think about every cop. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that went to school with people who, became cops. And think about who they were. They were weak individuals that never got no girlfriends, that, were made fun of, picked on, and then I'm gonna become a cop and I'm gonna get revenge on all the people that treated me bad. Well, that's what they're doing. And we don't need to hero worship cops. We don't need to hero worship them. Screw them. They're just cops. These days, if I'm in the presence of a cop, I don't even talk to them. Like in my job, sometimes I have to deal with cops. And especially when I worked at the prison, I had to deal with sheriff's office all the time. And I loved giving those dudes a hard time, because the way that the prison was set up is, if they bring a inmate to our facility and the inmate says that they did any kind of drugs within 24 hours, we have to send them to the hospital to get checked out. And that used to piss off these big bad dudes in the sheriff department, man, because they drive them to the prison and they know that if I have to send them to the hospital, that sheriff is going to be, who knows, he may be at the hospital 10 hours before he can finally drop that inmate back off at our jail. And that was my first question. As soon as I seen an inmate, I'd ask him straight up, hey, you done drugs in the last 24 hours? Well, yeah, I snorted a line, or yeah, I took a pill, or I did this. And the cops would get so mad. I remember one time this fucking stupid ass, all tatted up with a big old beard cop got all mad, and he's all like, man, they ain't fucking taking them to the hospital. He's like, I'm calling my supervisor. I was like, okay. He called his supervisor, handed me the phone. And so I explained the policy to the supervisor, and I said, here, he wants to talk to you. Hand it back. And then he just hung up, shit, and put the inmate back in the car and took him back. And I used to love to do that, because it just fucking pissed him off. And it's like, they had no power. They had no power. They think they're so powerful, but they're just powerful in their little field. When they have to deal with other things like me, I had way more power than them. It was so funny. I used to love to piss those dudes off. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And one of the things, though, I have to say is, people say cops are racist. I don't believe they're racist. What cops are is, they don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, as long as you're in the cop family. When you're in the cop family, you are in their family. They don't care about race. What it is, the way the cops look at it, the way my uncle used to explain it, is that cops love cops, and they look at everybody else as a potential enemy. They don't care how you dress, or what you look like, or what kind of car you're in, or what kind of house you live in. Everybody in their mind is a criminal, and they think they're above the law. So I'm glad that this video from Uvalde got released, so that the public can finally see what the rest of us have known forever, that all cops are cowards. Thank you.